everyone, it's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And as you can tell by the title, it is finally my review on the anime March Comes in Like a Lion. Now this was a review only on the first season of March Comes in Like a Lion. I know that there is 2 seasons and I'm about to start watching the second season, but overall what I have to say about this anime, and I hope this doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, is that actually at first it started off where I wasn't enjoying the anime very much. So March Comes in Like a Lion is about a boy by the name of Ray who has basically gone pro in playing shogi. And the first season is pretty much, it seems to be just an up and down of Ray's emotions as he's going through playing different tournaments, as well as kind of learning more about himself and just himself as an individual, not just as a shogi player. One of the aspects that I really enjoyed though about March Comes in Like a Lion was learning more about Ray. And learning more about Ray's backstory, which is actually quite tragic. And that is what I enjoyed the most. And I think for me, going into watching March Comes in Like a Lion, I originally really thought that it was going to be just purely about shogi. Now, I love and enjoy a lot of sports anime. I've seen the first season of Haikyuu. I was super big into Kuroko's basketball, and I absolutely loved Prince of Tennis. So when it came to watching March Comes in Like a Lion, and I heard that was about shogi, I was like, I'm gonna have to watch this show at some point. Now, when I got to me watching it, honestly, there were moments where I ebb and flowed with not exactly enjoying the show as much. And as you watch my vlog of me watching it, you'll kind of see my interest kind of waning a little bit. But I can honestly say that once I got to the end of the anime, I kind of start to realize just what this anime was purely all about. So I started to realize that this anime isn't purely just about shogi, obviously, but it's also about Ray just learning more about himself as an individual. Originally, when you learn about Ray, he's very much of a, I don't want to say a recluse, but he's very closed off to a lot of people. And this has to do a lot with his backstory and what he's gone through when he was as a kid, which you learn more and more throughout the first season. But you see that he's just very closed off. He's not very much into letting people into his world. You see that with him being in high school and him not having many friends, and his only friend is his teacher. And you also see it with the 3 girls that help to kind of take care of him in a way, but they're kind of like his sisters in a way. And you see him kind of opening up to them a lot more, and them kind of becoming like a pseudo family per se. Now, I have to say there were some characters I purely disliked, and I really did not like Ray's foster sister or adoptive sister, however you want to put it, because she was very, very manipulative. She really kind of knew how to kind of try to control Ray and make him feel very guilty, especially when he went against the match with the older gentleman, where she was just like, the one thing a girl wants is, would you want your father to lose or to win? However it was that she put it. But that was just a very manipulative tactic, and when I went into watching that match, I was like, Ray, you better win and not let your adoptive sister manipulate you. But overall, I have to say though that it kind of ebbed and flowed for me. It took me a long time to really get into the show in general, and to kind of realize that this wasn't purely going to be about shogi. Ray kind of made me mad at times as a character, just because he was kind of not soft-spoken, but sometimes wasn't a very interesting character, and I was more interested in the other characters around him, and since they weren't involved as much, it kind of made it difficult to keep my interest. But me learning more about Ray's backstory is really purely where this anime shines. So I'm really excited to see the second season and kind of continue to see Ray change as a character, and I just hate that it took the last episode or the last 2 episodes for me to really see this change in Ray and purely understand like where this show was pretty much going. But of course, now this is going to start the vlog where I started out watching March Comes in Like a Lion. And of course, if you didn't know already, this is going to contain spoilers because I did vlog myself watching the entire first season. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy watching it. Not enjoyed it, but enjoy watching it. And if you, so that's pretty much what I have to say for you guys. So now here's the vlog, and I'll see you guys after you guys watch that. Okay, so I just started watching March Comes in Like a Lion, and I have heard a lot about the show, so I decided why not check it out. I have to say, after watching the first 2 episodes, it took me a minute to get into it, but I'm actually kind of
liking it. I'm liking learning more about the character Ray, and I'm also liking learning more about the three sisters that I've kind of taken them in, and I'm very interested to see what happens next. I will say, for me, I love like sports animes, or at least I've watched a few of them. So watching one for shogi is a little bit different for me because I've never played shogi. I've only heard of it like maybe once or twice. But I am excited to see like what happens next, and I also want to know what the hype is about this show because I've had like one person in particular continue to recommend for me to watch this. So I do definitely want to see what's the hype of this show. Okay, so at this point, I think I'm almost done with episode 5. And I have to say now, compared to when I just watched the first like 2 episodes, I'm definitely at this point more invested in this show. And I think it's because with episode 4, they showed a lot more regarding, you know, Ray's backstory and why he plays shogi, and like why he's a little bit more of a recluse, and the fact that they had him do a lot of flashbacks to traumatic things that happened to him. And I have to say, honestly, the end of episode 4, like beginning of episode 5, or I forgot where, when they explained the backstory regarding his parents and what happened to them and his sister, it almost made me want to cry because I didn't realize that he had like such an intense backstory about how he became an orphan, or, you know, and there's also something else that happened to him, and I'm assuming that the end of episode 5 is going to touch on that. But overall, I'm really liking it, and I can tell that this is going to be a show that is definitely going to tug at my heartstrings. So, thanks for that. Also, I don't like Ray's aunt. I feel like she's a total bitch, and I'm glad he didn't go with her. Also, the fact that this dude took him in, okay, first of all, very, very nice. But also, I feel like he had another hidden agenda because he just wanted him to play shogi, and that was his rival's kid. But also, like, it sucks that his kids kind of ended up getting like the short end of the stick because they couldn't live up to this other kid that wasn't even a sibling to them and was just kind of just there. I don't know. It's kind of weird for me to think of it that way. But then also, who knew that you could drop out of school so easily? Like, I don't think this is realistic because you can't just go to a teacher and say, hey, I'm not going to high school. Like, you have to go to high school. But regardless, I just thought this whole mess with him, like, being in this is family, while it was really nice, it was just a whole nother agenda. I didn't like that. I thought that was just backhanded a little bit shady. So I'm on episode 12 right now, and I meant to say this earlier, and this is like going back to episode 10. I really dislike Ray's foster sister. I don't like her. I feel like she's very manipulative, and I feel like, you know, she knows how to like kind of pull at Ray's heartstrings, or at least she tries to. So when Ray was playing against the gentleman whose daughter basically only wanted her dad home for Christmas and didn't want him to lose, because I guess when he loses, his personality kind of changes and he drinks, and he was also going through a divorce. So she pulled at his heartstrings about that, and I was glad to see that Ray didn't throw the match and just decided to win. And in reality, I'm just like, your foster sister is crazy. Like, something is seriously wrong with that girl, and I know there's more to the story behind them. But now currently at like episode 11 and 12, I feel like this show pushes and pulls you, so it pushes me into it, and like, no, not pull like not pushes it, but pulls me into the show with episodes like episode number 10, and then with 11 and 12 it's kind of like pushing me away because it doesn't feel as interesting anymore. So it's a weird push and pull with this show. So sometimes I get really into it, and then there's times where I'm like starting to lose interest. I don't know, I just find that kind of weird. But yeah, I am interested to see more story though behind his foster sister. Okay, so those guys are super mean. So I don't remember their names, but I know that Nobu wanted the older guy to basically, in his words, crush Ray, and he did. And to me, this really just showed how much Ray is still like a child, just because of how he ran off after the match, because he just got so humiliated. Because basically the guy was basically saying Ray's moves before he did them. And Ray was like, this is humiliating because he knows my entire strategy. At least I believe that was what was happening. Either that or the dude was trying to help him. But regardless, that is very embarrassing. And to me, even though so many people put so much stress on Ray because he's a super young shogi player and he's the youngest in a really long time, and he went pro in middle school, he's still just a high school kid, and high school kids are going to at some points act like children. And this showed that Ray still has to grow up and has to be more mature, especially when it comes to losing a match. But yeah, I just thought those guys were super mean, and I didn't like this episode. So I don't know why, but I'm on episode 18 of, the show, and I, at this point, don't understand the hype of why so many people really liked March Comes In with Like a Lion. I mean, it's not a bad show, but I just can't get into it, I guess. I don't know if it's because they're playing shogi and I'm used to like sports shows and stuff like that, but I feel like it's this weird contrast between like his not his actual life, but like his past and like his life, and then like the game of shogi. But then Ray as a character, I don't exactly really like him, if that's strange to say. I mean, his sister's a bit of a jerk. His foster sister's a bit of a jerk. And I don't know. Ray as a character, he's just it just makes me angry, I guess, with like kind of the slow pacing of this show. Maybe it'll change by the time it gets to the second season or within the next like 6 episodes of this show, because that's kind of pretty much all that I have left. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, right now, though, I'm not that impressed by March Comes In Like a Lion. I mean, yeah, that's just how I feel at the moment. So I think I figured out why I feel some type of way right now about this show, or currently about this show. So I just finished episode 18, and while watching episode 18, I came to an epiphany of sorts. So my issue isn't the show, it's just the characterization of Ray himself as a character. And I think it's just because of the fact that this is just the first season, so he's still trying to figure everything out, and like everything with his sister. And I just kind of feel like he just makes me angry with like kind of like his back and forth indecisiveness, I guess. And like, just, I don't know, it's just him as a character. Because I there's just moments when he does shogi where he's like, I think it's just the shogi part of himself I don't like as much. It's the part where he's like not super analytical, but just like, I don't even want to say mean, but just kind of like standoffish. But even that's not the word I want to use. And then when you have the moments when he's with like the sisters and stuff like that, he's much more likable as a character. But I think that's just like him opening up. But I am interested to learn more. So not going to drop the show. I think I just want Ray to like, I guess, grow up. But I don't know, I have this weird push and pull regarding Ray just as a character in general. Yeah. Okay, so I just finished March Comes In Like a Lion, just season 1. And I have to say, after watching the end of the episodes, just basically all of the first season, I finally kind of realized what the premise of this show was. And it was pretty much just like, I hate to say it, but like a coming of age story, or just watching Ray himself grow as a character and going from someone who's a loner to someone who now kind of has friends, or just kind of recognizing that he does have a lot of friends now, and just learning to come out of his shell. Overall, though, I did enjoy it. I probably explained more at the beginning of the video as far as like my review on the entire series, but I am definitely going to watch season 2 because I definitely want to see Ray continue to grow as a character. But overall, it was enjoyable. I still don't understand why some people got kind of sad about it. I know there were parts of it that was sad for me, but not the entire thing. Mostly about like his backstory and things like that were kind of sad. But I definitely am interested to see what happens in the second season, and if he continues to grow in shogi, and if he continues to grow just as an individual and as a person, and what his career is going to look like in shogi. But yeah, thanks for watching this. Now here's going to be my outro. So this is going to be future Shay. All
right, you guys, that was my vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun recording that, and I'm probably gonna be starting the second season soon. By the time this video comes out, I've probably already started watching the second season, so you guys will have a vlog for that one as well, hopefully pretty soon. Hopefully it's not too long. Doesn't take me a long time to watch it. But of course, like I always tell you guys, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys soon with a new video. And of course, I will leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. So please check me out on there too. And yeah, like I always tell you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. All right, you guys. Bye.